Hi guys, welcome back to BigJon TV. On today's What's Cooking Wednesday, I'm doing a lot less cooking and a whole lot more mixing.
So Memorial Day is coming up. Memorial Day in America is the official start of barbecue season. Now while I don't believe in barbecue seasons because we cook meat and barbecue all year long, that's what everyone else calls it and considers it. So we're going to start getting into that mode. That being said, during our live feed a couple days ago, we had a couple of comments about favorite rubs, favorite sauces. Throughout the several past months and 2 years of videos, we've had a lot of comments and questions about ranch dressing.
Apparently that's not a thing in the UK.
So what we've decided to do on today's video, and I say we as in I have nothing to do with it, we're going to show you a couple of staples for outdoor cooking, for meat cooking, for barbecuing, all of those things. So what we got is
we're going to do a very simple barbecue rub that you can doctor up to add your own sort of twist and flavors, but it's a great base.
So if you're making any sort of meat product, this would be a great way to start.
Exactly. And we're going to do a really simple barbecue sauce, just a few ingredients. Again, you can change this up once you get the base going.
I like barbecue sauce, but if you rely on barbecue sauce to make your meat taste good, you're lame. So you have to use the sauce with the rub.
And we're going to do...
True. If you go to a restaurant, a barbecue restaurant, and they pour a bottle of barbecue sauce on your meat, on your plate, walk out.
Yeah,
it's not going to be
a good point. Because you should be tasting the meat, not the sauce.
It's a side. Bingo. Okay,
right.
Next.
Next we're going to do a really easy taco seasoning. I decided to start making my own taco seasoning because I hated forgetting to buy it at the store.
Right.
I always have the ingredients on hand. Super simple.
I don't really have anything smart to say about that one other than grilling some tacos. That's be good on a flat top or on an actual grill, big old steaks, and cut them up. It's a good thing too.
Yep. And finally we're going to do the DIY ranch powder. Super simple in the US to buy ranch powder, ranch seasoning powder.
Yeah.
But if you're living somewhere else where it's not available, I'm going to show you the recipe and give you some ideas on how to use it.
And we're kind of ranch snobs as far as brands. Like there's only one brand that we really truly like. We don't think we need to talk about it because there's a million different varieties out there. But if you can make it at home and doctor it up the way you like, that's better than the store-bought stuff as well. So that's a good one too. Tons of uses for that as well. Exactly.
All right, let's get started.
And I don't know if I'll pop back in or not because it's not really my thing. There's no meat, so.
Not yet. All right, guys, let's get started on the barbecue sauce because that's going to take the longest. All right, we're going to get started with our barbecue sauce. This one is super simple, just a few ingredients. We're going to start with 1 cup of ketchup, half a cup of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and a half a cup of brown sugar. Whoops. Alright, so we're going to stir this together. We're going to put it on the stove top and let it simmer for about 5 minutes to let all the flavors kind of come together. If you like a spicier sauce, you could add in some chipotle pepper. You could add cayenne pepper. You could go crazy, add ghost pepper, whatever heat level you enjoy. Alright, and this goes on the stove. Alright, next we're going to build our barbecue spice rub. We're going to use a mason jar. In goes half a cup of brown sugar. Try not to make a mess. Half a cup of paprika. 1 tablespoon of black pepper. 1 tablespoon of salt. 1 tablespoon of chili powder. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of onion powder. So this is a really good base flavor. It looks really cool layered in there too. And from here you can add your heat. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of chipotle powder. I like that it's a nice subtle smoky heat without being too overpowering. You'll still get all the other flavors. Break this up a little bit with a fork to make sure there's no big pieces. And put the lid on and shake it up. Now, because this has no preservatives and no anti-caking agents, you don't want to make huge batches of this. This is small scale. You're going to do some ribs in your backyard. You're going to barbecue some chicken. You don't want this waiting around too long. It will lose its flavor. It'll clump up. But it's so quick and easy, you can just make it as needed. We've been known to add some other unusual flavors. We've added coriander before. Ginger is a nice addition. Even cinnamon tastes nice in this. It really depends on your personal taste. Alright, check it out. There is our barbecue rub. Super simple, great classic flavors. I do also like to add a nice tablespoon of our barbecue seasoning mix in with our sauce. You can already see what a great color this sauce is getting. A really deep mahogany. All right, let's keep cooking it a bit more. It'll thicken up some and all those flavors will become all blended together. Let's go. Okay, our next homemade seasoning, we're gonna be making ranch. We're gonna start out with this cultured buttermilk blend. I found this at Walmart. It's a dried buttermilk powder. We're gonna use a 1/4 cup. 2 tablespoons of dried minced onions. We call these fingernails. It's kind of what they look like. 2 tablespoons of dried parsley. 1 tablespoon of dried chives. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. A 1/4 teaspoon of celery seeds. 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. If you don't want to see the black flecks in it, you can use white pepper instead. A 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. 1/2 teaspoon of dried dill weed. And that is it. Check it out. Those are all our seasonings. Lid on and shake. There we go. It is all mixed up. This is awesome to use with your French bread. Mix it in with your butter before you slather it on some lovely French bread. This is also used to make cracked chicken in the crock pot or Instant Pot. You could also sprinkle it on pasta and then of course make dressing. To make dressing with this, you use 3 tablespoons and you add it to 1 cup of mayo and 1 cup of milk. All right, let's take some of our ranch mix and turn it into dressing. We're gonna use 3 tablespoons of our mix. Make sure you give it a good shake before you start scooping out. You wanna make sure everything's well combined first. In our jar, we had 1 cup of mayonnaise. We've added 3 tablespoons of powder and 1 cup of milk. Just because we like garlic, I'm gonna add 2 cloves of garlic in here. Give it a little stir. And I've got this awesome little lid for a mason jar. It's got a pour spout. It's plastic. It's easy to attach to any wide mouth jar. And I'm going to give it a shake. All right, and we'll put this into the fridge to set up just a little. All right, the last seasoning I'm going to show is my favorite taco seasoning. I cook this along with ground beef. We start off with 1½ teaspoons of cornstarch, 4½ teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of garlic salt, half a teaspoon of beef bouillon, half a teaspoon of white sugar, and I do just about a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, just a little bit to give it a heat, not too much. You can leave that out if you choose. All right, give it a shake. And this is our taco seasoning. So you would use all of this along with a 1/2 cup of water in with your pound of ground beef. And it'll be the perfect seasoned ground beef for taco meat. For tacos, not taco meat. All right, our seasonings and barbecue sauce are done. We've got our ranch powder. Showed you how to make some of that up. We'll taste it in a moment. Taco seasoning. Barbecue rub, super simple. And our very easy barbecue sauce. All right, so I've made a little plate. I've got some broccoli to try our ranch in.
I'll take a smaller broccoli. It's good.
It needs to be a bit colder, so it's gonna go back in the fridge to chill out a bit more. Good flavor. I like the extra garlic added in there at the end. So this is the application we would use ranch as a dressing on top of salads or dip for vegetables. You can use the dry powder in other recipes, such as the cracked chicken. I know I've had a lot of requests for what can I use instead of ranch packets, because apparently in the UK, not a thing. All right, Matt, would you like to try the barbecue sauce?
That's good.
Very simple, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of tart from the vinegar, a little bit of spice from the rub I put in,
I like
but
it.
very basic.
Look at it down. My tip it doesn't tiny.
You are. This is the barbecue rub. Do you want to give that a taste? Maddie is our designated rub taster.
Sounds good.
Good mix there.
Perfect amount of sweet and the salt. Like it's not too salty.
It's not too sweet. A little bit of a kick in there, but not too much. The
Perfect.
chipotle powder gives it a nice smokiness. And then finally we have our taco seasoning. You can try it if you want, but normally that'd get added to our ground beef.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Guys, there you go. A super simple barbecue sauce, a great easy barbecue rub that's easy to doctor up to your own flavor taste, taco seasoning, and ranch. Hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. I know it's a little bit different. Make sure you click the like, subscribe, and if you really like it, share it with your friends. Catch you on the next one. Bye.